Unit 3, Lesson 5, Collaboration between roles. Two reasons why group collaboration fails. This can be due to people issues, which we'll cover in this lesson, and process issues. We will also look at the concept of conflict, which we covered in a previous lesson, and why it arises. People issues. In collaborative learning, when there's an issue with an individual, it's important to emphasise that it's their behaviour you have the problem with, not the person. The reason why their behaviour is so may be because the meeting isn't meeting their needs. They might not be able to see the relevance of the meeting or feel that their opinion will not be considered. Please go to this video to look at the impact of conflict and collaboration on a work environment. Behaviours which are undesirable are dominance and lack of participation. Dominant behaviour. This happens when one or two people monopolise the conversation, or perhaps one person disagrees with all the other ideas other than their own. Alternatively, one person might trivialise other people's contributions. It might occur because the person is in a more senior role and feel they have more to offer. Those people that are dominant may feel that they're most informed and they know most about the problem. Or they just might not be aware of what they're doing. To address this, it's important that you thank the person for their contribution and ask what other people think. Or you inform everyone of the main aspects at the start of the meeting, so everybody is just as informed as each other. In the case where the dominant person tries to trivialise other people's ideas, it's important to state that we need to get a number of perspectives to reach an optimum solution. For the behaviour of lack of participation, what happens here is people don't contribute or speak. The reason why it might happen is they feel that there's a deficit of knowledge and they're not confident at speaking. They feel they're not experienced to do this. They've had bad experience with the group and might not trust each other. Or they don't see the relevance. They feel their opinion will not be heard or valued. To address this, it's important that you highlight at the start of the meeting why there are several team members and the importance of each of their contributions. At the start of the meeting, also identify ground rules for running meetings, for example, listening to each other and respecting opinions. In the meeting, proactively asking people for their response by doing a round robin. This will encourage each person to speak. Process issues are concerned with the procedure for running the group. The reasons why they might happen is the group aren't aware of the purpose of the meeting and why they're at the meeting. There may be no ground rules about running the meeting, how often meetings should take place, that attendance is compulsory, and how the group are expected to prepare. There might be no agenda, with no time allocated for each item. This results in the meeting running without guidance and purpose, often discussing unimportant or untrivial ideas. Sometimes there might be no chair or leader to control the discussion. And at the end of the meeting, there's no decision that has been reached. No tasks have been delegated, or tasks may have been delegated unfairly. By providing the group with a structure and a process, they know what is expected of each of them and how they're to contribute. Conflict problems. Conflict is one of the main issues in collaboration. People perceive disagreements and contrasting opinions differently. Some people perceive them as a threat, and so conflict arises, and others as a possibility or shared learning. It's important to address conflict using a positive side. Conflict is important and it must be addressed in an open manner rather than avoiding the issue at hand. Often people feel that disagreement and conflict is negative. However, it's good for people to disagree, as it shows different perspectives to a problem and alternative solutions. Conflict is only an issue if it's negative or personal, or the discussion is unproductive. There's a number of different reasons why conflict may occur in a group. For example, someone might get upset if their ideas are challenged or rejected. This problem usually arises because of the way an idea gets challenged in the group. The person who put forward the idea may feel personally rejected or insulted if their suggestions are scorned or insensitively rejected. If someone puts forward an idea and others don't accept, the objectors need to make it clear that it's the idea they want to challenge and not the intelligence or integrity of the person proposing the idea. Another problem which may arise, resulting in conflict, are problems from outside being brought into the group. If group members are experiencing problems outside the group, they may find it difficult to ignore these. Worries from the outside can cause group members to become angry or aggressive without much provocation. It can be helpful if group meetings started with members saying what's happened to them generally since the last meeting, or any issues that they may have. The group may also want to build in a ground rule about not accepting abusive or aggressive behaviour. Another problem may be sexist, racist, or other stereotyping or abusive remarks. It's important that these aren't allowed, accepted, or tolerated in a group, and there should be a ground rule to this effect. It should not be left to the chairperson to have to challenge these remarks. All group members have a moral responsibility to intervene. Another problem that may arise in conflict is not listening to others in the group. For some people, it can take a lot of courage and encouragement before some members voice their opinions. If these opinions are not listened to, the speaker may retreat emotionally from the group. The group may wish to include a ground rule about the importance of listening to others. Group members should find ways of encouraging quiet members to contribute to the discussion. Another problem may be someone allocated a group task does not complete it in a way that satisfies other group members. For example, some information is missing. This is a common problem that can occur. It's best avoided in the first place by the group discussing who does what at an early stage of group formation. Individual group tasks should be identified, delegated, and expected outcome clarified. If all group members have entered into a contract on expectations, the group is then justified in asking the group member concerned to complete his or her part of the contract in the way previously agreed. It's always worth checking if the group member is encountering difficulties that they haven't been known to the other group. Another issue may be the leader or the chairperson is proving to be unsuitable and unacceptable. They may be too directive, dogmatic, or aggressive, or in contrast, indecisive and ineffective. It's unusual for the leader to be completely isolated and without partial support from one or two group members. If there is consensus among group members about the problem, it's best to approach via the individuals who are most likely to be listened to by the leader. The leader should be given a chance to discuss the issues with all group members and make changes if necessary. Sometimes the leader simply doesn't understand the negative impact of their style on others. Real problems can occur if the group divides into fractions because of the leadership-related issues. Often in this situation, the real problems are not aired and discussed, and a general mood of disagreement and hostility prevails. The answer is to discuss the problem, not matter how painful or awkward it is for the group. In extreme cases, the facilitator will help by allowing individuals, including the discussion leader, to have their say and to make a fresh start. Lastly, a problem which may arise in conflict is the group has discussed a subject honestly and democratically, but they have no consensus. To address this issue, it's important to summarise the main points of the discussion for each item on the agenda. If the group do not agree, ask those individuals who disagree to suggest alternative proposals. Ask individuals to compromise or trade off, or use voting techniques or democracy, where members vote on the preferred option. In the next unit, we will look at selecting and presenting a problem for problem-based learning.